Vladimir Sazonov has a PhD in history and is a researcher in ancient Near Eastern studies at the University of Tartuu. Among other places, he has studied in Göttingen, Basel, Moscow and Istanbul. He has studied the history of the Middle East and published articles in foreign journals as well as Diploma Asia.
Russian political influence in Baltic countries. How effective is it?
Well, of course, it's very difficult to measure effectiveness. Of course, we have some impact, and earlier, let's say maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it was more effective. But I think it's not very effective, and especially after 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine. However, we have some politicians and political groups who had ties with Russia or even who share pro-Kremlin views, but luckily it's not mainstream. And of course, we speak about the political influence and Russian influence operations. Today, aim is interfere with information space Estonia and much broader Baltic states, the European Union, and also they try to have an impact not only on Estonia, but also all European Union and NATO and United States to harm us. And of course, if you're speaking about that, we can see that Russia is trying to use pro-Russian ideas or pro-Russian forces. For example, if you know about this bronze monument crisis, which took place 15 years ago in April 2007, which was caused by Russia and pro-Russian Kremlin forces. So we saw how the hooligan riots or local Russian-speaking people who are useful idiots and also people who are provoked or provocators and hooligans were sent also from Russia in Tallinn, our capital, tried to destabilize the situation. There was hostile cyber attacks from Estonia against the Estonian government structures and information operation and so on. But luckily they were not successful. Of course, we are living on the frontier. We have a border with Russia. We have 27% of Russophone people. Of course, the Russophone people are very different. They are not homogeneous. And if we're speaking about them, then we should mention the things that of course among them are people who are loyal to Estonia, who share European views, but there are people who also are not, who are living in pro-Russian, pro-Kremlin media discourse. And this is, of course, could be an issue. Last 30 years, and Estonia became independent, but very aggressively it started with the Putin come to power, especially after 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea and created terrorist Russian supported so-called republics in the eastern part of Ukraine. And so before 2022, we speak about that. When Russia started large-scale war against Ukraine, Estonia was already for decades target of Russian hybrid war. So several means as a soft power, information warfare, cyber attacks, espionage, and Estonia, as being a member of NATO and EU, was also listed by Russia as an unfriendly country. And Russia is actively using concept of Russian world, so-called Pax Russica, and compatriots policy to influence all post-Soviet space among Estonia. Well, we have a large, also mentioned, Russophone community. And this is the things. And of course, we should not forget economic pressure. Of course, Estonia was trying decades, became less independent from Russia, but still be dependent from Russian gas and oil. So Estonian homeland security. This faces basically with complex, serious, coherently coordinated and synchronized vulnerabilities from Russian Federation. Even yesterday, I will mention that even yesterday, Russia organized, probably Russia, who can that. Yesterday, on the Wednesday, Estonia faced with the most extensive and cyber attacks since 2007, and this was a problem because after the removal of the Soviet monuments, we have now the issue with the Soviet monuments. We still have, and many Eastern European and Northern European countries such as Estonia, Latvia, and others decided now to remove these monuments from Soviet period from open space. Let's say to move to museum or to some cemeteries. And including the Soviet tank T-34, which was a symbol of for all Estonians, a symbol of occupation. While with such tanks, 1944, Russia come to Estonia, and as the official propaganda say, they freed Estonia and Eastern Europe from Nazis, but they not freed. Only all Nazi regime, oppressive fascist totalitarian Nazi regime was changed to other Soviet oppressive totalitarian regime. And Russia used such kind of monuments as a propaganda, and many Russians come to these tanks. The tank or these Soviet monuments became as a cultic object where they have a celebration this 9th May and other Soviet things. And this tank was now moved from border city, which is on the Russian border, Narva, to War Museum in Tallinn. But after that, my country faced with this very expensive cyber attacks, probably from Russia. Of course, I think it's from Russia, but luckily it was quite successful. So the attacks were ineffective. You see, we always have a problem with Russia. We always have these things, and this is really an issue. Or I can add, of course, about the political ties. Let's say Estonian Internal Security Service also detected and published each year these annual reports when mentioned some politicians who advertise Russia. For example, the former leader of Estonian Centre party in Estonia at that time, Edgar Savisaar, have some kind of ties with active ties with Russia. And the Central Party have even agreement with Russian party, United Russia. Of course, not all people in the Central Party are Russian. Of course, there are, but some of them have ties. And in 2010, Estonian Internal Security Service detected and published the case when this leader at that time of Centrist Party, Edgar Savisaar, were asking a financial support for its party from the government of Russia.
Your message for Balkan countries, so they can avoid becoming next Ukraine.
Yes, of course, it's very difficult. We should seek this complex problem. Your country should be, you will have also, as you know, problems and tensions, and I know the case also with Serbia. Russia is always trying to use this opportunity or to create the opportunity as a school of influence in Estonia. They use this tool of Russophobia, discrimination of Russians, which is totally a lie, and hostile narratives. They use also anti-European, anti-EU, anti-NATO movements. They try to create, support them, finance them. But what is very important to say, we all should, as also Balkan states, should be very careful. Balkan states were always in the focus of Russian imperialistic ambitions, also as Baltic states. The Balkan states have a very important strategic position in Europe. It's a very important place, and it's crucial to prevent such hybrid threats and evaluate potential security risks for home security and not only for that from Russia and pro-Russian forces. Which are crucial, working on improvement of critical thinking, especially information warfare, countering Russian disinformation, that is very important, but also countering Russian espionage and Russian networks, which our Russian is creating, to stand against fake news, information, to build more secure economic measures, and not be dependent from the Russian oligarchs, Russian economy, energy. It depends from Russia should be minimized or because it's very dangerous as well, and Russia can also try to, and it's trying to influence political environment, populist movements, but also try to radical. But of course, they not only influence far right or far left, but even they try to influence the liberal movements. Of course, it's more difficult to influence the liberal people, but Russia is trying to bribe by politicians. So we should not trust the Russian official sources as non-official as well. But of course, it's very more crucial, probably cooperation with EU and NATO, and United States is crucial. United States is very important player, global player in the world, and only together, I mean, Europe, United States, and much broader West. And in that case, if we are united, we are strong together. But what Russia is doing, they're doing reunite to split societies. So the ideal world, what is Russian, is that young people is against old people. The people, one religion is against another religion, one sectional minority is another, and so on. I think you understand me. What they want to have a tensions and wars or such kind of conflicts inside all societies. If one subculture is against another subculture, if there's hatred, if there are fears, if there are a lot of xenophobia. And this is what the Russian want, because it's producing chaos, and Russia trying to manage this chaos, and it's made Putin's regime stronger.